What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel today. As you guys can probably tell by the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about the 49ers and more specifically the quarterbacks for the 49ers. So I just want to say really quick that there are a few things on this earth that I hate more than the 49ers. The only things that really can come to mind would be racism, taxes, TikTok influencers, and Amy Schumer. Those are probably the only things that I hate more on this earth than the San Francisco 49ers. So take this video with a bit of a grain of salt because I am a active prayer of the downfall of the San Francisco 49ers, but I do think that I know ball, so I could talk about the subject I think a little bit. So this week at the annual, league meetings, Kyle Shanahan was asked about his quarterback situation, and he basically came out and said that Brock Purdy's the guy whenever he comes back, whenever he's healthy. After that, elbow surgery that he's been having, getting hurt in the NFC Championship game. And so I just want to talk about the 49ers quarterbacks, both in the micro of this upcoming season and in the macro of the whole entire Kyle Shanahan era. So um, I just want to say I think it is hilarious that the San Francisco 49ers throughout Shanahan's era have gotten pretty much everything right. Their defense has been rock fucking solid for many years. Their running backs, Christian McCaffrey's an all pro. Their offensive line, they had really good play. Trent Williams is an all pro. Their receivers, Debo Samuel's an all pro, and Brandon Ayuk is very good in and of himself. George Kittle's an all pro at tight end. But the one spot that has always eluded them has been the quarterbacks. And that's going back to their trade for Jimmy Garoppolo back in 2017, which I believe was Shanahan's first year there. Ever since then, it's just been the one thing that's held them back. They made the Super Bowl, obviously, that one year with Jimmy. Didn't make it, didn't beat the Chiefs because of Jimmy Garoppolo, in my opinion. If he makes that throw at the end of the game, they probably win that Super Bowl. And countless other games, big games, they've lost because of Jimmy Garoppolo. Or in this case of this past season, their lack of Jimmy Garoppolo or any healthy quarterback. So I just want to talk about them going forward and kind of what the hell is going on with their quarterback spot. So they drafted, Trey Lance, third overall, a couple of years ago, and up until this point, he's been a bust. He did not play at all in his first year, pretty much. Then in his second season, he gets hurt, doesn't play at all, and at this point, you got to think back. He didn't play his senior year at NDSU. It's been like 3 whole years since this dude has played football. Like it's been a long time, and for a guy who already didn't play in FBS, he played in. I'm sorry for who didn't play. Yeah, and didn't play in FBS. It's kind of crazy to think that he'll just after 3 years just become this great quarterback. And from the reports I've been hearing, he hasn't been great in camp. He hasn't been impressing coaches and meeting rooms and everything. So Trey Lance, if I was the 49ers, man, they've come out and they've said Brock Purdy's the guy. And we'll get to Brock Purdy in a second. But if you're the 49ers, I think you just have to cut your losses and just trade Trey Lance for whatever you can get for him. Maybe it's a third, maybe it's a fourth. I'm sure a team like the Buccaneers would make a trade for Trey Lance, a team that really doesn't have a lot to work for, and could just do something, I guess. Maybe the Saints could trade for Trey Lance, although they just signed Derek Carr, so probably not. But yeah, if you're the 49ers, man, I'd be very concerned about Trey Lance. Now on Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy in his limited sample size last year won games. Now, I won't say that he looked good because I wouldn't consider what he did great quarterback play. I think that I don't like saying he got bailed, but he was in the perfect spot. Great defense, great pass catchers, great run game, fantastic, fantastic. I'd call him the second best offensive play caller in the whole sport. That's the perfect spot for a rookie quarterback to come in. Additionally, teams didn't have a lot of film on Brock Purdy because of the limited sample size. But going forward, a lot of people are optimistic about Brock Purdy. Can he be the guy full time? Like I said, he did win all of his games except for the NFC Championship game, in which he exited in the first quarter, I believe. So there's a lot of optimism, but I'm here to squash that optimism and tell you that he's a fraud. He is not a franchise quarterback. There's a reason he was Mr. Irrelevant, okay? His arm strength and arm talent is subpar, especially now after this elbow surgery and elbow injury that he's coming back from. It's going to be even more subpar. It's going to start looking like my GPA in high school. But looking at Brock Purdy, there's not a whole lot. He's got a quick processor, and his decision making is pretty good. His accuracy is really not that good. A lot of the throws last year were just not that good. I remember the one against the Seahawks in the playoff game. That one just wasn't a good throw. The one downfield. So um, I wonder I wonder how exposed he's going to be in terms of how the longevity of the season. So if he plays, 10, 15 games, teams I think are really going to see the weaknesses in his game. Not a great athlete. You can say Trey's a great athlete. Purdy's not a great athlete. Doesn't have great arm already before the injury. So who knows how he comes back. And I think honestly, there's legitimate concern about how his arm is going to be coming back from the injury. So I think the 49ers are in a spot where they've been in the last 5 or 6 years where it's okay, the defense is great. We have good weapons. We have Shanahan as a coach. That's great. That's great. But how far is our quarterback going to hold us back? And um, I think the 49ers are a great case study on the importance of quarterback in today's NFL because, if the 49ers had, I'd even say like Dak Prescott or you know, one of those top 10, 12 guys throughout these years, I think they could have won multiple Super Bowls at this point. The Chiefs realistically don't have many roster um, advantages over the 49ers because, the two things the Chiefs do really well outside of Mahomes are Andy Reid. Okay, well, Shanahan's right up there with Andy Reid, and then Kelsey, but Kittle's right up there with Kelsey. Outside of that, I think the 49ers beat them in pretty much every category, and yet the Chiefs have won two Super Bowls in the last 5 years. Why? It's because Mahomes. Now, Mahomes is obviously the best quarterback in the NFL, and I'm not saying that the 49ers need the best quarterback in the NFL, but I'm saying that when you have a good quarterback, a guy who can lead you to Super Bowls, it can make up a lot of the roster deficiencies around him. And the 49ers have the opposite problem. They don't really have a lot of roster deficiencies, but they don't have the quarterback that can take them that next step and get them to the Super Bowl. So um, I think that the 49ers this year are probably going to be really good in the regular season, and they're probably going to lose in the NFC Championship game again, or they'll not make it past the division. I don't know. But if I was the 49ers, I would be um, very concerned, especially because here coming up, you're going to have to pay Nick Bosa. A lot of other guys are going to get extensions like, maybe Brandon Ayuk, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe you're going to have to pay Christian McCaffrey again. So it's concerning, but what do you guys think the 49ers should do at quarterback, or are they already doing the right thing and they don't have any other options? Should they trade Trey Lance? Should they give him another shot to be the starter? What do you guys think? Let me know down below. As a huge Seahawks fan, perhaps this video came off a bit biased and a bit salty. So if I did, I apologize. Not really, because fuck the 49ers. But if you guys are 49ers fans out there, let me know what you guys' opinions are, and I will talk to you in the next video. Peace out.